What if everything you've been taught about being good is exactly what's holding you back? Imagine a chessboard. You're the pawn, small, predictable, self-sacrificing, moving cautiously forward to protect the king and queen. You're valuable, sure, but only as a stepping stone, a means to someone else's end. Now imagine being the queen, bold, commanding, and indispensable. She doesn't chase. She's strategic, powerful, and impossible to ignore. To evolve from pawn to queen in life, you have to let go of being good and step into being bad. This doesn't mean becoming cruel or manipulative. It's about rejecting the societal programming that insists you must please everyone to be worthy. It's about redefining bad as someone who commands respect, refuses to bend endlessly, and understands the power of putting themselves first. As Seneca wisely said, "He who is brave is free." To embrace freedom, the kind that magnetizes others to you, you must be brave enough to shed the need for approval and start living on your terms. You're not here to play small, to be agreeable, or to light yourself on fire just to keep others warm. You're here to walk in your own power and let the world rise to meet you. The cost of being too good. Imagine you're a pristine violin, finely tuned, capable of producing the most beautiful melodies. But instead of being cherished, you're placed in the hands of anyone who passes by. They pluck at your strings carelessly, never truly appreciating your artistry. Over time, your strings fray, your tone dulls, and you're discarded for the next easily accessible instrument. Why? Because you gave everything without requiring anything in return. This is what happens when you live as a good person in the traditional sense, always available, endlessly giving, and self-sacrificing. Instead of drawing admiration, you become background noise. The truth is, people value what they must work to earn, not what they're handed freely. To break this cycle, you must stop being the violin passed from hand to hand and start being the symphony conductor, untouchable, commanding, and impossible to overlook. Why being bad makes you magnetic. When we hear the word bad, it's easy to imagine someone selfish, harsh, or unkind. But what if being bad simply means having the courage to prioritize yourself unapologetically? It's about setting boundaries, respecting your own time, and walking away from situations or people that don't align with your worth. In the eyes of those conditioned to take advantage, this might seem bad, but in reality, it's the ultimate act of self-respect, and self-respect is irresistible. Think of a rare flower in a high mountain meadow. It's beautiful, untouchable, and unique. People must trek for miles, brave the elements, and climb steep trails to catch a glimpse of it. Its rarity and inaccessibility are what make it precious. Compare that to a common weed, abundant, trampled on, taken for granted. Being bad is about transforming from that weed into the rare flower. It's about becoming someone who is valued precisely because they don't make themselves endlessly available. The candle that burns out. Picture this. You're holding a candle in a dark room, shielding its flickering flame from every gust of wind. You pour all your energy into keeping it alive, terrified of what will happen if it goes out. But while you're consumed by this effort, no one notices. They walk by without appreciating the light you're protecting. Only when the flame finally dies does the room plunge into darkness, and only then do they realize what they've lost. This is the story of the good person, someone who gives endlessly, thinking it will earn love or respect. But the world doesn't value what is always there. It notices absence. Becoming bad is about learning to let that flame flicker or even extinguish, so others are forced to reckon with its importance. It's about teaching people that your energy is a privilege, not an entitlement. Stoic strength, redefining good and bad. The philosophy of Stoicism offers profound wisdom for this transformation. The Stoics believed that true strength lies in controlling yourself, not others, and that your worth is defined by your own principles, not the opinions of those around you. Marcus Aurelius put it best: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Being bad in this Stoic sense means refusing to let others dictate your life. It's about embracing the self-control to walk away from situations that don't serve you, to say no without guilt, and to demand respect instead of hoping for it. This shift doesn't just protect your peace, it makes you magnetic, reclaiming your light. Think about the moon. It doesn't chase the sun, beg for its light, or compete with the stars. It simply exists, illuminating the night with quiet confidence. Its gravitational pull is so strong it moves oceans. It's not loud or showy, yet it commands attention effortlessly. That's what happens when you embrace the badness of living unapologetically. You stop chasing validation and start attracting respect. A new definition of good. This journey isn't about abandoning kindness. It's about strengthening it with self-respect. It's about understanding that true goodness isn't endless self-sacrifice. It's living in alignment with your values and teaching others to do the same. By redefining bad, you're stepping into a version of yourself that is both compassionate and powerful, both kind and commanding. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop being the pawn and start being the queen? Are you ready to transform from the violin taken for granted to the conductor no one can ignore? Are you ready to let go of the need to be endlessly good and step into the magnetic energy of someone who lives for themselves first? This isn't selfishness, it's sovereignty, and it's the secret to becoming truly magnetic. Affirmations have the power to reprogram your mind, strengthen your self-worth, and ignite the confidence to stand tall and command respect. I am unapologetically magnetic because I live by my worth. Write this affirmation in the comments below and declare your commitment to becoming the person who commands respect effortlessly. If this message resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We pour our hearts into creating meaningful content like this to empower and inspire you. Your support means the world to us. Number 1. Stop being a yes man. Have you ever felt like a vending machine in someone else's life? Always there, ready to dispense whatever they want at the push of a button. Maybe it's saying yes to their plans, bending your schedule to suit their whims, or agreeing to things that leave you drained, all in the hope they'll appreciate you. But here's the reality. People don't respect a yes man. They take them for granted, like a background soundtrack they've stopped noticing. To be magnetic, to truly stand out, you have to stop saying yes to everything and start living by your own terms. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, saying no and standing your ground may not win you instant approval, but it will earn you lasting respect. Being magnetic in a relationship isn't about always being agreeable. It's about having the courage to prioritize your values, your time, and your self-worth. Imagine you're a waiter at a buffet, constantly serving everyone else's plates while neglecting your own hunger. Over time, you become exhausted, overlooked, and unfulfilled. This is what happens in relationships when you say yes to everything. You're so busy meeting their needs that your own desires fade into the background. The sad truth is, when you're always available, people stop appreciating your presence. They start expecting your effort as a given, not as a gift. By saying yes too often, you lose your edge. Relationships thrive on mutual respect, not on one person endlessly giving while the other takes. Saying no, on the other hand, signals that your time and energy have value. It shows that you're not a doormat, but a person with boundaries, goals, and self-respect. Think about a diamond. It's rare, tough, and doesn't bend to fit someone else's mold. Its value comes from its scarcity and strength. Now, imagine a pebble, common, pliable, and available everywhere. Which one commands attention? Which one do people treasure? When you stop being a yes man and start saying no, you become like the diamond, rare, intriguing, and worth the effort. Saying no creates mystery. It sets you apart from those who bend at the slightest nudge. It forces others to see you as someone with standards, someone who respects themselves enough to walk away from anything that doesn't align with their worth. Picture a majestic tree standing tall in the middle of a field. It doesn't lean toward every breeze or bend under every passerby's touch. Instead, it stays rooted, strong, and steady. People are drawn to its presence not because it gives in, but because it stands firm. Now imagine a weak sapling bending and bowing to every gust of wind. It's unnoticed, insignificant, and easily overlooked. When you say no, you're like that majestic tree. You're signaling to the world and to your relationship that you have roots. You're grounded in your values and not willing to be swayed by every passing request. To stop being a yes man, you need to identify your priorities. Before agreeing to anything, ask yourself if it aligns with your goals and values. If it doesn't, give yourself permission to decline. Practice saying no. It doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. Start small. Decline a minor request and notice how empowering it feels to stand your ground. Reframe your perspective. Saying no doesn't make you bad or selfish. It makes you strong and self-respecting. People may push back at first, especially if they're used to you saying yes, but holding firm is where the transformation begins. The moment you stop being a yes man, you reclaim your power. You show the world and your partner that your energy isn't infinite and your time isn't for free. This isn't about being selfish. It's about respecting yourself enough to demand the same from others. Remember, saying no isn't the end of the relationship. It's the beginning of mutual respect. I honor my worth by saying no to what doesn't serve me. Write this affirmation in the comments to declare your commitment to living with self-respect. If this lesson resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. We work tirelessly to bring you life-changing content, and your support helps us continue this journey. Let's build a community of people who live with strength, purpose, and unapologetic magnetism. Number 2. Be the author, not the footnote. Have you ever felt like a footnote in someone else's story? Always there, supporting their dreams, cheering them on, adjusting your life to fit theirs, but never truly the focus. It's as if you've handed over the pen of your life to someone else, allowing them to write the narrative while you settle for being a background character. To be magnetic, to command respect and admiration in any relationship, you need to reclaim the role of the author in your own story. This isn't just a shift in perspective, it's a transformation in how you live and how others see you. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Taking control of your story begins with understanding that your worth isn't determined by how much you contribute to someone else's life. It's about how boldly you live your own. You can't expect others to value you if you keep diminishing yourself to fit into their narrative. True magnetism starts when you decide to write a story that reflects your passions, your boundaries, and your unique purpose. Imagine a theater performance where you're not the actor on stage, but the person working behind the curtain, ensuring everything runs smoothly for someone else's spotlight moment. While your contributions might be critical, no one in the audience ever sees you. They're too focused on the star. This is what happens when you act as a footnote in your own life. You remain essential, yet invisible. But when you take center stage, when you unapologetically step into your role as the author of your life, you become impossible to ignore. People are drawn to those who live with purpose, who own their narrative instead of merely existing in someone else's. Think about a book. What makes a story compelling isn't the footnotes, it's the bold, decisive actions of its protagonist. When you're the author, you control the plot, the twists, the direction. You determine how the story unfolds. Being the author of your life means making decisions that prioritize your goals and values, even if they don't always align with others' expectations. It means setting boundaries that protect your peace and pursuing passions that ignite your soul. When you live this way, you naturally draw others to you, not because you're seeking validation, but because people are inspired by someone who confidently leads their own journey. Picture a ship navigating the open sea. If you're the captain, you chart the course, steering toward your chosen destination. But if you're just a passenger, you're at the mercy of where someone else decides to go. Taking control of your story is like taking the wheel of that ship. You might face storms, but at least you'll know you're heading somewhere meaningful. And the moment you steer with intention, others will want to join you on your journey. Not to control you, but to admire the way you move. To be the author of your life, you must first take stock of where you're giving away your power. Are you constantly rearranging your plans to accommodate others? Are you holding back on pursuing your dreams because you're afraid it might upset someone else's expectations? Start small. Take one step today that reflects your own desires. Whether it's setting aside time to work on a personal goal or declining an invitation that doesn't serve you, each decision reinforces that you're writing your own story. Being the author of your life also means embracing your imperfections and taking ownership of your past. Every mistake, every setback, every triumph becomes part of a narrative that makes you uniquely you. Don't let others define your worth based on a single chapter. Instead, keep writing, keep evolving, and let your story be one of growth, resilience, and self-discovery. When you stop being a footnote, you remind the world and yourself that your story matters. You show others that you're not here to exist in the shadows, but to shine in the light of your own journey. This shift doesn't just make you magnetic, it makes you unforgettable. I am the author of my story, and I write with purpose. Write this affirmation in the comments as a declaration that you're stepping into the spotlight of your life. If this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. We're committed to creating empowering, life-changing content, and your support allows us to continue helping you live with strength and authenticity. Let's write these next chapters together. Have you ever felt like a footnote in someone else's story? Always there, supporting their dreams, cheering them on, adjusting your life to fit theirs, but never truly the focus. It's as if you've handed over the pen of your life to someone else, allowing them to write the narrative while you settle for being a background character. To be magnetic, To command respect and admiration in any relationship, you need to reclaim the role of the author in your own story. This isn't just a shift in perspective, it's a transformation in how you live and how others see you. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Taking control of your story begins with understanding that your worth isn't determined by how much you contribute to someone else's life. It's about how boldly you live your own. You can't expect others to value you if you keep diminishing yourself to fit into their narrative. True magnetism starts when you decide to write a story that reflects your passions, your boundaries, and your unique purpose. Imagine a theater performance where you're not the actor on stage, but the person working behind the curtain, ensuring everything runs smoothly for someone else's spotlight moment. While your contributions might be critical, no one in the audience ever sees you. They're too focused on the star. This is what happens when you act as a footnote in your own life. You remain essential, yet invisible. But when you take center stage, when you unapologetically step into your role as the author of your life, you become impossible to ignore. People are drawn to those who live with purpose, who own their narrative instead of merely existing in someone else's. Think about a book. What makes a story compelling isn't the footnotes. It's the bold, decisive actions of its protagonist. When you're the author, you control the plot, the twists, the direction. You determine how the story unfolds. Being the author of your life means making decisions that prioritize your goals and values, even if they don't always align with others' expectations. It means setting boundaries that protect your peace and pursuing passions that ignite your soul. When you live this way, you naturally draw others to you, not because you're seeking validation, but because people are inspired by someone who confidently leads their own journey. Picture a ship navigating the open sea. If you're the captain, you chart the course, steering toward your chosen destination. But if you're just a passenger, you're at the mercy of where someone else decides to go. Taking control of your story is like taking the wheel of that ship. You might face storms, but at least you'll know you're heading somewhere meaningful. And the moment you steer with intention, others will want to join you on your journey, not to control you, but to admire the way you move. To be the author of your life, you must first take stock of where you're giving away your power. Are you constantly rearranging your plans to accommodate others? Are you holding back on pursuing your dreams because you're afraid it might upset someone else's expectations? Start small. Take one step today that reflects your own desires. Whether it's setting aside time to work on a personal goal or declining an invitation that doesn't serve you, each decision reinforces that you're writing your own story. Being the author of your life also means embracing your imperfections and taking ownership of your past. Every mistake, every setback, every triumph becomes part of a narrative that makes you uniquely you. Don't let others define your worth based on a single chapter. Instead, keep writing, keep evolving, and let your story be one of growth, resilience, and self-discovery. When you stop being a footnote, you remind the world and yourself that your story matters. You show others that you're not here to exist in the shadows, but to shine in the light of your own journey. This shift doesn't just make you magnetic, it makes you unforgettable. I am the author of my story, and I write with purpose. Write this affirmation in the comments as a declaration that you're stepping into the spotlight of your life. If this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. We're committed to creating empowering, life-changing content, and your support allows us to continue helping you live with strength and authenticity. Let's write these next chapters together. Number 3. Quit watering dead plants. Have you ever found yourself tending to a plant that's already wilted beyond recovery? You water it, hoping for a miracle, but nothing changes. The leaves droop further, the soil becomes a swamp, and the pot collects dust. Deep down, you know it's dead, but you keep watering it anyway. Relationships can be the same way. Sometimes we pour our time, energy, and love into something that has long stopped growing. To be truly magnetic, you must quit watering dead plants and redirect that energy toward nurturing yourself and relationships that actually thrive. As Seneca once said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Walking away from a relationship that no longer serves you is not failure, it's wisdom. It's recognizing that life is too short to waste on what can never be revived. Instead of exhausting yourself on the impossible, you must let go, creating space for something better to grow. Imagine you're a farmer with a limited supply of water and sunlight. You have one field of vibrant, thriving crops and another of barren, lifeless soil. Where will your efforts yield the greatest harvest? If you keep trying to bring the barren field to life, you'll not only waste your resources, but risk losing the lush, healthy field that still has potential. Your relationships work the same way. Pouring energy into someone who doesn't reciprocate, whether it's a partner, friend, or someone you hope will change, drains you, leaving you with nothing to offer those who truly value your presence. Quitting on a dead plant isn't about giving up too soon or refusing to nurture. It's about recognizing when your efforts have become futile. Think of it like trying to fill a jar with holes at the bottom. No matter how much water you pour, it will always leak out, leaving you empty and frustrated. A magnetic person knows when to stop, when to step back, and when to reclaim their resources for something or someone who will hold their value. It's tempting to cling to the comfort of familiarity. Maybe you're watering that dead plant because you believe it's better than starting over, or because you're afraid to admit that it's beyond saving. But here's the truth. Letting go isn't losing. It's making room for growth. The Stoics remind us that detachment is not indifference, it's freedom. When you release what no longer serves you, you free yourself to pursue relationships that align with your values and nourish your soul. Walking away takes courage. At first it may feel like you're abandoning something you invested so much in. But consider this. Is the value of a relationship measured by how long you've watered it, or by the fulfillment it brings? Staying attached to something lifeless only dims your own light. When you shift that energy back to yourself, you radiate strength and purpose, and that's what makes you magnetic. To quit watering dead plants, start by evaluating where your energy is going. Ask yourself, is this relationship growing or just draining me? If it's the latter, it's time to step back. Practice detachment with compassion, not bitterness, knowing that letting go is an act of self-respect. And most importantly, redirect that energy into yourself. Invest in your growth, passions, and relationships that add value to your life. When you do, you'll find that the right people naturally gravitate toward you, not because you're chasing them, but because you've become someone worth chasing. The decision to stop watering dead plants is an act of self-love. It's a reminder that your energy is precious and should never be squandered on what refuses to grow. As you let go, you reclaim your time, your strength, and your magnetism. I release what no longer grows to make space for what truly thrives. Write this affirmation in the comments to solidify your commitment to letting go of what no longer serves you. If this message resonates, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Your support fuels our mission to bring you powerful and life-changing lessons. Let's grow together. Number 4. Wear your scars like medals. Have you ever looked at a cracked vase and noticed how those imperfections make it more interesting, more unique? Imagine filling those cracks with gold, turning the flaws into a work of art. That's the essence of wearing your scars like medals. In relationships, your scars, your past heartbreaks, rejections, and vulnerabilities aren't weaknesses to hide. They're proof of your strength, resilience, and the courage to love despite the risks. To be magnetic, you must embrace these scars, showing the world that you've grown stronger, not weaker, because of them. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Your struggles don't define you, they refine you. Wearing your scars like medals isn't about boasting. It's about owning your story and demonstrating that you're unafraid to face life head-on. This courage and authenticity draw people in, because nothing is more captivating than someone who has walked through fire and emerged glowing. Imagine a warrior returning from battle. Their armor is dented, their shield scratched, but they hold their head high. Each mark tells a story of battles fought, of challenges overcome, of victories won. Compare this to someone with pristine, untouched armor. Which one commands more respect? The warrior with the scars, of course, because their imperfections reveal their bravery. In relationships, your emotional scars are your armor. They're not signs of damage, but of survival, and they show others that you've lived fully, loved deeply, and grown stronger through it all. Think about a tree that has endured a storm. Its trunk is gnarled, its branches twisted, but it still stands tall, rooted firmly in the ground. Its imperfections tell a story of resilience, of standing firm when the winds howled and the rain poured. People are drawn to that kind of strength. When you wear your scars like medals, you become that tree, steadfast, unshaken, and undeniably magnetic. To wear your scars like medals, you need to stop hiding them. Instead of burying your past, let it shine as part of who you are. Acknowledge your mistakes, lessons, and growth. Show that you're not defined by your scars, but empowered by them. Share your vulnerabilities in a way that reveals your strength, not your need for pity. When you own your story, you take away its power to hold you back, transforming it into a beacon that draws others toward you. This isn't about dwelling on the past, but about reframing it. Your scars are not baggage, they're badges of honor. When you embrace them, you demonstrate an unshakable self-worth that says, "I've been through challenges, and I'm still here, standing tall." People admire those who can carry their history with grace and strength, unafraid to show the world who they truly are. So, don't cover up your cracks. Fill them with gold, like the ancient Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with precious metal, making it more beautiful and valuable than before. When you wear your scars like medals, you show others that you are not broken, but enhanced by life's experiences. The next time you feel self-conscious about your past, remember that your scars are a testament to your strength and growth. They are what make you human, relatable, and magnetic. Let them be your story, your shield, and your crown. My scars are proof of my strength and resilience. Write this affirmation in the comments to honor your journey and inspire others to do the same. If this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. We work tirelessly to bring you life-changing lessons, and your support fuels our mission to empower you to live boldly and unapologetically. Number 5. Be the locked door, not the open book. Have you ever walked by a grand locked door and felt a pang of curiosity? What's behind it? Why is it locked? Your mind starts spinning scenarios, imagining the secrets it holds. Now think about an open book, its pages laid bare for anyone to skim. You might glance at it briefly, but it doesn't hold your attention for long. In relationships, you have the power to choose which you'll be: the open book, easily accessible and quickly forgotten, or the locked door, intriguing and unforgettable. If you want to be magnetic, you must stop revealing everything about yourself and embrace the art of mystery. As Rumi said, "Don't open your mouth unless you're certain what you're about to say is more beautiful than silence." In relationships, silence and mystery speak volumes. When you're the locked door, people are compelled to lean in, to seek you out, to work for your attention. This doesn't mean playing games or withholding affection. It's about maintaining depth, keeping certain parts of yourself reserved, and valuing your own story enough not to share it with just anyone. Think of a treasure chest hidden in a faraway cave. Its rarity and secrecy make it priceless. Adventurers dream of finding it, risking everything for a glimpse of its contents. Now, imagine a pile of coins left scattered on a table, accessible to anyone, picked up and discarded without a second thought. When you make yourself too available, sharing everything about your thoughts, feelings, and plans at once, you become like the scattered coins. But when you hold something back, when you keep your most valuable thoughts and emotions guarded, you become that treasure chest. People are drawn to the mystery, intrigued by what they don't yet know about you. Being the locked door isn't about shutting people out. It's about understanding the power of pacing and intention. Picture a movie that reveals its big twist in the first 10 minutes. Would you keep watching? Probably not, because the suspense and allure are gone. The same applies to relationships. When you reveal too much too soon, you strip away the intrigue that keeps people invested. But when you share in layers, revealing yourself piece by piece, you create a connection that's dynamic and enduring. To embody this mindset, start by asking yourself, what parts of me do I share too freely? Maybe it's your plans, your struggles, or your emotions. Instead of offering everything at once, consider what's truly worth sharing, and with whom. This doesn't mean becoming secretive or distant. It means choosing intentionality over impulsivity. Let people earn access to your depths. Show them that your time, your story, and your attention are privileges, not guarantees. When you become the locked door, you also protect your energy. Not everyone deserves full access to your life. Some people will misuse your openness, taking your vulnerability for granted. By holding something back, you signal that you value yourself enough to guard what's sacred. This isn't selfishness, it's self-respect, and it's magnetic. People are drawn to those who know their worth and aren't afraid to keep certain parts of themselves private. The beauty of being the locked door is that it doesn't shut people out. It invites them in. But they have to approach with care and intention. When you stop being the open book and embrace the mystery of the locked door, you're telling the world, I am valuable, I am worth knowing, but only to those who take the time to truly see me. Remember, you don't have to reveal your whole story to be loved. The right person will appreciate the depth and patience it takes to understand you. They'll respect the boundaries you set and value the parts of yourself you choose to share. I hold the key to my story, and I choose when to unlock it. Write this affirmation in the comments to declare your commitment to embracing your value and the power of mystery. If this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. We're dedicated to creating life-changing lessons to help you build relationships and a life rooted in confidence, self-respect, and authenticity. Your support means the world to us. Number 6. Trade pleasing for impact. Have you ever watched someone try to light up a room by pleasing everyone? They laugh too loudly at jokes, agree with every opinion, and go out of their way to accommodate others, but somehow they're still overlooked. Now picture the person who walks in and doesn't try to be liked. They speak their mind, make their presence felt, and leave a lasting impression. The difference is clear. One is focused on pleasing, the other on making an impact. If you want to be magnetic in relationships, it's time to trade pleasing for impact. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." People respect and remember those who dare to be authentic, not those who dilute themselves to gain approval. By constantly trying to please others, you risk becoming invisible. But when you focus on leaving an impact, you become unforgettable. Think of a pebble tossed into a still lake. A small, authentic gesture creates ripples that reach far beyond its size. Compare this to a handful of sand thrown into the water. It creates no ripples, no lasting effect. When you try to please everyone, you spread yourself thin, like the sand. But when you focus on impact, your actions, like the pebble, create waves that resonate deeply. Stop living for applause and start living for authenticity. It's not about being liked by everyone. It's about being respected and remembered for who you truly are. People may not always agree with you, but they'll respect your conviction. I choose to leave an impact, not chase approval. Write this in the comments to affirm your transformation. If this resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe. Your support fuels our mission to create content that inspires and empowers. Number 7. Stop giving unlimited free trials. Have you ever walked into a store offering free samples? You take one, enjoy it, and walk away. No commitment, no cost, no thought. Now imagine if that sample table never ran out. Always available, always free. Would you ever feel the need to buy the product? Likely not. In relationships, giving unlimited free trials works the same way. When you offer your time, energy, and attention endlessly without requiring respect or reciprocity, you're teaching people to take you for granted. They enjoy the convenience, but they don't value the effort you put in. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, a gift consists not in what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver. When your energy is freely available, it loses its significance. People start to expect it as a right rather than appreciating it as a gift. To become magnetic, you must stop being endlessly available. Your presence, your attention, and your love should feel like a privilege, not a given. Think of yourself as a luxury boutique. High-end shops don't open their doors to everyone, and they certainly don't hand out free samples. People are drawn to these boutiques because of their exclusivity, their rarity. By limiting who has access to your energy, you increase its value. When others realize they must earn your attention, they stop taking it for granted and start cherishing the time you offer. You deserve relationships where your efforts are met with respect and gratitude. No more free trials. I protect my energy by making it a privilege, not a freebie. Write this affirmation in the comments and commit to valuing yourself. If this inspired you, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps us creating life-changing content for you. Number 8. Don't be their safety net. Be their challenge. Have you ever noticed how people value what challenges them and dismiss what comes too easily? Imagine a climber standing at the base of two mountains. One is a steep, majestic peak, requiring skill and determination to conquer. The other is a gentle hill, offering an easy stroll to the top. Which one will the climber remember, talk about, and respect? The challenge, of course. In relationships, the same principle applies. To be truly magnetic, you cannot be someone's safety net, the easy, predictable fallback. Instead, you must become the challenge that inspires growth and commands respect. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Being a challenge means standing firm, setting boundaries, and requiring effort from those who seek your attention. It's not about playing games or withholding affection. It's about showing that your time and energy are earned, not given away freely. Safety nets might feel comforting at first, but they are quickly overlooked. Challenges, on the other hand, are unforgettable. Picture a kite flying in the wind. If the string is loose and provides no resistance, the kite wobbles and falters, eventually crashing. But when the string is held firm, offering just the right amount of tension, the kite soars higher and stronger. Being a challenge in a relationship is like holding that tension, creating the space for respect, effort, and mutual growth. So, stop cushioning every fall or making things too easy. Be the person who inspires their best, not the one who enables complacency. This shift not only elevates how they see you, but also how you see yourself.